I'm running out of space to fit all my games. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Blink here, and today we are going to try to do a little bit of creative rearranging of this room to try to make space for some of the new stuff that we've acquired. After the PS4 collection that I did, I really was kind of realizing that there's not enough space on all my shelves to put the PS4 collection up in its entirety. You know, I have a lot of it back here, but there's some on the shelf behind it, and then there's some, as you can see, kind of sitting in a stack down on the ground that doesn't really have room. And so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to just kind of pull you off of the tripod here. We're going to walk around and I'm going to see where we can maybe squeeze in another shelf, do a little rearranging, try to move stuff around to make space for both the games I already have, but also I'd like to have a little bit of room for the PS5 collection to grow, right? I mean, that's the system that I kind of primarily buy physical for this gen. So PS5 in addition to PS4, it would be nice to have some shelves that have, you know, a couple shelves open where when I get a new game, it's pretty easy to rearrange and add them. So I don't even know if this is possible. You know, at some point you just run into absolute space limitations, but we're going to do our best. I'll pull you off. We'll walk around, do some measuring, do some moving, and see what we can make happen. All right, so first let me kind of show you current state. So this is the PS4 collection. As you can see, these shelves are totally full. And I have this stack of stuff down here. There's some other systems in there, but that's the primary stack of PS4 that's not on the shelves. And so we can't fit anything here unless we like put them sideways up top, which I don't really want to do. I do wish that this shelf was a little more optimized. Like you can see on the bottom half below this kind of middle divider, it's 4 really nice, tight, compact shelves. But for some reason, the design of this, the top half, you can't make the same 4 shelves. It doesn't fit. It just has this dead space, which is a little bit of a bummer. But let me show you what I am thinking, and we'll see which one of these options, if any of them, are actually going to work. So if I look here, this is my PS1 shelf. This seems like the biggest unoptimized space. Like if you get down and you look, there's so much dead space up above the PS1 games that isn't being like effectively utilized. And when you have a nice dense game room like this, you gotta make sure you're utilizing all your space. And this that is the right amount of space to pretty comfortably fit a PS5 game. I mean, I'll grab a PS4 game, but they're the same cases, right? If I do this, you can see like there's still some dead space at the top, but way less. So I'm wondering if I can move the PS1 games somewhere and then move the PS5 games into this shelf. So we are going to measure this out and kind of see how many inches we're working with here. And here, this is the other side of the PS4 shelf that we were just looking at. We were just standing kind of right up over there. Here you can see this is where I have PS5 and some spillover PS4 and also my Switch. So I'd like to get all this PS5 out of here, make this space for PlayStation 4 only, and I can do a little more optimization of the stuff that's down here, move Switch down, and then have this kind of be where PS4 goes. So my thoughts currently are right in the entrance of the game room we have these 2 Vita shelves, and they're pretty much full. But I'm wondering if maybe we pull those out, we could stick those back to back and put them in this sort of middle section, right? Right now I just have this random cart here. This doesn't have to be in here. It's honestly just kind of overflow stuff I haven't put away yet. This Xbox doesn't even work. And then down here, this is actually stuff getting ready for my next pickup stream. When I have a pickup, I put it here until I've shown it on the pickup stream, and then I put it on the shelves. And damning, you can see there's more PS4 in there. So we got to figure something out. But I think if maybe I put those Vita shelves back to back right here, then that might fit and not be too obtrusive. It might still give me enough space to walk through here. I don't want it to feel too cramped, but I think fitting something there might be my best option. The only problem is that when this door, which is the door into the game room, opens, you only have a certain amount of clearance. It's going to be way too dark for you to see, but these shelves are kind of set up where the door doesn't hit these shelves and actually goes right over that little bottom lip. And a shelf that I might put here may not give me that same clearance. So I'm gonna try to pull that shelf out and see what I can do. It also means that I'm gonna have to find a spot for the SP kind of big display sign and, you know, the couple things I have sitting up on top of it there, but I can probably rearrange and find a space for those. So let's pull that other shelf off and see if we can make these things fit in a way that still feels okay. All right, so that's just pushed aside for now. We have the Vita shelves here sitting in this corner. Doesn't stick out too much. I can give you kind of like a side profile. I'll find a way to stick these two more back to back than they are right now, but I think we can probably make that work. You know, if you pull back a little bit, it doesn't look too out of place, and there's still plenty of room to walk right here, which is nice. And this is it from the other side. Again, I think that it works pretty decently having the Vita games over here, which I like. And of course, you know, there's like a couple of big box PC games down there. And then I went ahead and I moved in this empty shelf into this back corner. So this is where we're hoping to put the PS1 games. I know I need to get, at some point I'll put lighting in over here. Right now there isn't any good lighting, but it is the way it is. For the first time in a long time, you can see the Star Fox Zero promo poster, the Pokemon Sun and Moon launch promo poster, and then that's a Sega Game Gear display sign down there, which is actually pretty cool. I wish I had a better spot to put that one. At some point I'll probably find somewhere to place it. So this shelf works pretty well, I think. I did measure it, so I'll take you around the other way. If we look back at the PS1 games, like from here to here is about a little over 30 inches. It's like 31 inches. So, you know, if you do the math, these three shelves is about 93 inches. So add in these PS1 games here and maybe even the Japanese PS1 games if I can. That'd be somewhere between like 100 inches to 110 or so that I would need. These from here to here are about 20, although they have these little, like, I don't know, there's like little sliders that actually don't come off. They're permanently like rounded on either side. I could cut them off if I needed to, and there's one on each of there. So you probably have about 19 to 20 inches per shelf, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning that we have about 100 inches right here. So that's at least enough, probably, to fit the North American PS1 games, but we need to put them on here and see, right? You just don't know until you know, right? You can do all the measuring in the world, but for some reason, the math usually comes out and works a little different. So we will try that, but before we do, we have to make sure that this door can still open, or I'm never getting in or out of the game room again. So, let's see if we can open her up. We got some boards and stuff in the way. Let's get these out of here. All right. Open her up. Oh yeah, we've got the space. Perfect. All right, that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut to moving those PS1 games over onto the shelf, and we will see how it turns out. All right, there's the 3 empty shelves that I'm hoping will fit my PS5 collection. It actually, after that little clip there, I also took the 3 big box, the 2 Lunars and the Orc the Lad, the Working Designs big boxes, and I moved those as well, which gave me space to fit the rest of the Japanese Saturn games and PC Engine games right there. And hopefully I could move those if I needed to. So that gives me the space here. And then if we go around, you can see in this dark corner, here are all the PS1 games. Again, it's still very space efficient. Like there's still this huge gap. This just happened to be the shelf that I had like in our extra storage room. So what's nice is that somewhere down the line, I could buy or build or have someone build a shelf that's a little more optimized, or I could buy like another media shelf that's more narrow and fit it here that would let me expand my PS1 games, because as you can see, it actually, with those 3 big boxes, it's 100% perfectly aligned. It uses all of the space I have to fit all the PS1 games. So now I'm going to move the PS5 games onto that shelf, and we're going to see exactly how much room that buys us. There it is. Honestly, not as many PS5 games as I thought when I get them all on the shelf, which is nice. Look, we have almost twice that much space to expand to in the future, and that's without even optimizing that PS1 shelf and moving these other CD jewel case games out of here. I do still have the long box PS1 down here, but I think that's okay. You know, they want to hang out with the Moogle Light, and that's only reasonable. I mean, one shelf just makes sense to have long box PS1, Moogle Light, Xbox original demo discs, 2/3 of an N-Gage collection, and Neo Geo Pocket Color, right? So yeah, that's going to work out super well. And then if we go back over here, now I have all 3 of these shelves available, half of this shelf available, so I can move all these PS4 games up. And eventually I will also, that's actually PS4 right there, I'll probably move those up too. And then there's some like really unoptimized, like just sideways special editions for Switch and stuff that I could make fit better. And so I will have probably these 3, and optimistically maybe like 2, possibly even 3 more. So 6 total shelves to expand PS2, which will serve me for a long time. It should be pretty good. So let's move PS4 up, check in on how we're feeling about that, and go from there. Oh yeah, that worked out very well. So now all those are up, and we have 3 whole cubbies there of room to grow the PS4 collection. And again, that's before rearranging this shelf, which I will do in the future here. So we've got space for PS4, and we've got space for PS5. I feel pretty good about that. Vita's looking good in that spot. And then the last thing I got to do for now is try to find a home for the stuff in here, and this display sign, and those things right there. So let's give a couple seconds of thought about where I might be able to put those. Alright, well this is just going to work for now. We got the Game Boy Advance thing right up there. This section of the room already had such terrible lighting that it doesn't really matter that this is sort of blocking the light. Doesn't really make it any worse, as you can tell. Then we got, I'm just going to throw the Splatoon and the Sonic & Knuckles Trapper Keeper up on top of those. They fit nicely, and they don't really block your ability to take the games out or anything like that off of there. And honestly, for now, we're just going to leave our guy. I kind of like him chilling in the corner there. Who doesn't love a good corner cactar? So yeah, I think we've got a plan going. Thanks everyone for hanging out while we figured out how to make some space in this game room. All in all, it worked pretty well. Plus, now I get to display the Final Fantasy IX standee there, which is nothing but good news in my mind. So, one thing I did notice as I was rearranging everything is after all of the collection videos and the rearranging, everything is all out of alphabetical order. So I desperately need to re-alphabetize. I may record some footage of me doing that and post it up in a different video. We'll see. Maybe I'll make like a casual Q&A out of it. So if you have any questions you want to know about my collection or the game room, or even the other stuff I post about, like, you know, trophy hunting, things like that, let me know. I'll be happy to answer some questions maybe while I do a little alphabetization. I think that could be a good time. But all that to say, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care. Peace.